The Ottawa Senators are pleased to select from the Spokane Chiefs, Jared Cowen.
I like it because he's a Memorial Cup winner. He's overcome the knee surgery that he had to have. But the biggest thing, big body presence, Bob and Gordon. They drafted Erik Karlsson last year with their first-round pick, who's undersized. But Ottawa was the easiest team in the NHL to forecheck last year of all the supposed elite teams. That won't happen anymore because of Erik Karlsson, Patrick Wirikoch, and now Jared Cowen. They're a much better puck-moving team, Bob.
And the Saskatoon connection continues. Braden Shen from Saskatoon played for the Saskatoon Contacts. So did Jared Cowen. Carter Ashton's likely to go. Jimmy Bubnik later in this draft. What a hockey team that was. A man amongst boys in many respects. This guy's 6'5", 216 pounds. Reminds some people of Braden Coburn, the way that he plays. He is a defensive defenseman with shutdown capabilities. He's not devoid of offensive ability as we look at all the great Saskatoon players that have been taken in the last little while in the National Hockey League draft, and there's many more to come, including, as I said, Carter Ashton today. First overall pick in the WHL Bantam draft coming out of Saskatoon.
And the story on Jared Cowen is a fascinating one. As a 17-year-old, he wins the Memorial Cup, as we talked about. Was a dominating player in the postseason, so he's projected really high for this year's draft. In late January, rips up the knee, ACL and MCL, and has full reconstructive surgery.
Yeah, two things happened to Jared Cowen. He had that tremendous 16-year-old season. Coming into this season, he said to his agent, Rick Follett, what do I have to do to be the #1 pick? I want to be the #1 pick in the entire draft. And there was a lot of talk that he had that kind of potential coming off a very strong Memorial Cup. He probably focused a little too much on the draft, maybe lost his focus a little bit, didn't play as well as a 17-year-old at the beginning of the season as he did, his parents Brian and Carol looking on. But as the season wore on, he started to get his act together, and just when he got his act together, he blew his knee out in January. Now, he did not come to interviews. He was requested for interviews weeks and weeks ago, but he wouldn't go to any of the teams because he said, if I'm going to go to 10 or 12 teams, I'm going to lose 2 or 3 weeks of rehab time. I'm going to do all my rehab. I'll be happy to bring medical records, doctor's reports, and meet your doctors and do all the interviews you need to the week of the draft, but I need that rehabilitation time. He's well on his way to a full recovery from the ACL surgery. He won't be able to take full contact at the World Junior Camp, but this guy's an excellent bet to be a stalwart on Canada's national junior team next season, Pierre.
All right. And here is James Duthie with Brian Murray and his most recent first-round pick.
Thank you, guys. Jared, we spoke this morning. You said, I'd be happy going anywhere, but I'd really love to go to a Canadian team. How does Ottawa suit you?
Very good. I mean, growing up, you always want to play for the Canadian teams, but having it actually happen is even better, I think, for me.
I know you're sick of the knee questions, but everybody wants to know the World Juniors are coming up in Saskatoon, basically your hometown. You said you'll be ready to participate in camp. Do you expect to be there and be on Team Canada come December?
Definitely. I'll be at camp. I won't be in any of the scrimmages, though, but I didn't get a chance to play it this year, so hopefully this year I'll get a chance to. It's a great tournament.
I know Brian has plenty of patience with your knee, and you'll be good and healthy by the time you play for the Ottawa Senators. Listen, last year you pick a real small guy in Karlsson who's a terrific offensive talent. You get a guy who's good offensive talent, but a great defensive. It's Mutt and Jeff as far as size. Is this philosophy that you're trying to match these two guys up?
Well, I think being big in the National Hockey League is important. Certainly having some size on a team is critical. We think with Larson or Erik Karlsson from last year, I think that we've got the good offensive right-hand shot defenseman. I think now we got a big defender, plays a lot of minutes. Certainly be hard to play against in the defensive zone. We know that this is the type of player that gives you a chance every night in the league.
Danny Heatley, Darren Drager reported a few minutes ago that there's really nothing new on that. Have you had anything substantial as far as offers, and do you think there's any thought of perhaps getting a deal done before this night is over?
I can't think that there will be anything tonight. We've talked to several teams. We've tried real hard to accommodate a couple of teams that seem to show some interest, but there's just not enough there right now to make it happen.
Are you going to have to lower your expectations as far as what you're going to get back?
No, we'll probably have Danny Heatley play left wing in our hockey team if it doesn't work out.
All right, Brian Murray, thank you. Jared, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.